Welcome to the DeepWater podcast. For this week's episode, we got me, Chris, and we got Coach D with us. Say what's up, Coach
What
D.
up? What up?
Make sure- We got a lot of stuff going on our social media. Added a bunch of videos. Rankings came out today by yours truly. Make sure you check those out. Follow us, like, subscribe, and comment on all of our socials. Help us out. We got a great episode for you guys today. Coach D, what do you want to start with?
All right. So, man, I'll let you lead it off. So, basically, where we at? MMA versus wrestling, MMA versus MMA. So, let's go ahead and get into it. So now, RAF3 set the tone for a lot of things, right? When they first got started, we was like, okay, it's all about wrestling, cool, right? But can wrestling sell entertainment, right? They started putting in the MMA component, right? MMA was getting bodied left and right. RF1, RF2, they was getting wore down. Then we seen Chad Mendez and Michael Chandler on freaking RAF3. I was like, okay, let's see what they do with it. They became the main event, right? We had a whole bunch of MMA guys. Buckley, Magomadov was talking that noise at RAF3 in the press conference, and everybody got bodied, man. I'm like, I'm having issues. I'm having issues, man. Everybody got bodied from MMA. I don't like that at all.
Well, I mean, they got extra body at RAF 03.
Yeah.
Every one of them got smoked.
Yeah, they did. I can't even talk. I can't even talk shit because it was just that bad. It was just that bad. But
I mean, you had.
I still got to carry the conversation, so let's get into it. All right, let's start off with Bo Bassett and Darren.
Well, Darren.
Man.
To be fair, Darren put himself in a very bad position on his own by stepping his leg over and putting him. He put himself in a position to get put on his back.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, Bo's relentless, and Bo finished it. But to be fair, Caldwell helped him out with just putting himself in a bad position.
And that goes. I mean, that goes to I can't even say experience because he got tons of experience. So here's what the chat's saying. That's why I love the chat. That's why I love social media matchmaking because they're gonna bring it up. They saying Darren shouldn't have been there. He got bad knees, bad shoulders. They're saying he had a lot of stuff. That's what got him out of wrestling in the begin with. That's why he wasn't on that power. MMA did his job. So they saying he wasn't the guy of old to be going up against the next generation like a Bo Bassett. That's what some of the conversations that I was hearing. But he sold himself at the press conference, so grown men did grown men shit, so I can't really say anything. You know what I'm saying? He said, hey, his students are gonna get on him if he loses the Bo. He not only lost the Bo, he got pinned by Bo. So
the fastest pin in RAF history on top of it.
You say it again?
The fastest pin in RAF history on top of it.
Yeah, on top of that. 60 seconds, y'all. 60 effing seconds. Right?
Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing too, right? People complaining about Caldwell wrestling Bo, right? There's no one else in the weight class except for the champ. So until that weight class builds out, that's the only match they could have.
All right, that's a good point. Let's go with that for a second. So the thing about being only on the third event and your momentum is through the roof, you haven't developed a roster yet to where fighters can take time. I mean, wrestlers and fighters can take time to recover from a loss, because you got to put them right back in the game because there's nobody else to put in the game. So Darren, I think he's competed at almost all three, didn't he? At least two.
I think he did. Yeah,
He did RAF
I think
one.
so.
Yeah. I almost want to say he did two. I got to
I don't think
think.
he did two. I don't think he did two. I
Okay,
think he
so
did one and two.
all right, so he did right, and both his opponents are the best in the game. So I really can't knock him too mad, other than getting with a pin. I can. You let a child pin you. That's got to sting a little bit. That's
Hey,
got
I
to sting a
mean,
little bit. So
at some point we get. It's funny how sometimes we're going to say a 19-year-old's a kid, and then sometimes we say a 19-year-old's a grown man. It just depends on the situation.
well, I mean, 19
But
year
when you're
old means he's
37,
legal.
but when you're 37, you can't be
Night,
getting beat by a 19-year-old.
yeah,
Like,
19-year-old means you legal. And nobody's gonna say you're a grown man at 19. You're legal, and there's a lot of things you can do at 19. But we ain't gonna throw now skill wise. He's at the top of the game. So right, you could say he's doing man shit at 19. We can say
I
that.
would,
When it comes to
I would be
wrestling, he's
interested.
doing man shit at 19.
Yeah, that part's true. I'd be
Yeah.
interested to see because they're doing that rematch for the championship in Bo's weight class at five. I'll be interested to see if they put Bo against somebody else at five at the same time to try and start building that weight class out.
Well, based on what you just said, I'd rather Bo go for the rematch. I'd rather Bo fight for the title, and then depending on who wins, then can come back to reclaim his belt. I'd rather go with that because the division is so small. Bo Bassett is one of the biggest stars at RAF now, right? Got the most momentum outside of somebody coming from the Olympics or a world stage. He's the next big thing, right? And he won in spectacular fashion. So with the division being so small, why wouldn't you have done that next? But then they already had an
Well,
opponent for Bo and for RAF4 anyway, so I get it.
well, think about it from this perspective. All those things,
All right.
all those things you said about Bo, right?
Yep.
You can draw out him wrestling for the belt, build the weight class out while you're drawing that out until you get the fans so amped up about him not wrestling for a belt that you finally get him wrestling for the belt.
Well, that's the whole point of developing stories first, right? You got to build momentum back to back to back, right? Events leaves no room for story and no room for momentum. So we can go over that later on. But that's the hard thing when you have a small division, right? I mean, unless you're a diehard wrestling fan, right, where you automatically know who you're looking at, right? You don't know where your next talent is coming from. You don't know how to research the backstory, why these matchups make sense. All these things, gotta come into question. Now you got MMA coming in, and it's MMA versus MMA, not MMA versus wrestling. So we got that too. So now we got to split down the middle. We got the wrestling side and the MMA side. We don't got them combining anymore because now you got MMA fighting MMA. So we can go over that too. So
Right.
a lot going on. RF3 shined a light on a lot of stuff. A lot of
Well,
stuff.
that's a good thing about it. That's a good thing about it, though. A lot to talk about. It gave us a lot to talk about after it.
Very, very true. Very true.
So I
So I
mean,
can't. I don't even have anything to say on that part.
but I'm waiting for these MMA guys to get kind of tired of getting their asses kicked and bringing some dudes in like some of the dudes that are really known for their wrestling in UFC, jumping over and trying to even the score a little bit.
No shit. Okay, that's the one thing I could say about Bo Bassett, right? Because when I heard the call out, it made absolutely no sense. I was like, okay, why would Bo call out Sean O'Malley, freaking Conor McGregor, and Khabib, three of the biggest? And I get it, as a star, as big as he is as 19, he's a pretty freaking big star, right? But he called out the best in MMA history right now. The biggest stars in MMA history. If you wanted to draw attention to yourself from MMA fighters, you just did, right? You just did. So even though his next match is already mapped out, after that, you're gonna have MMA wrestlers gunning. He has put a target on his back because the conversation is gonna have to be had on why would Bo say this, right? I'm not talking about Conor, right? Sean O'Malley has no wrestling skills, but Khabib does. Khabib has real
Oh yeah,
skills. And
I think Khabib would
just for
actually beat.
shits and giggles, I don't know if he can get down to that weight, which another thing that got me. Cause what was that weight class?
It
135?
was one. I'll tell you in a second. Let's see, 145.
145. Sean O'Malley, yeah. Conor McGregor, no. And
Nope,
Khabib, no. So
nope.
only Sean O'Malley is making that weight, and that's an easy win. So
And they're
all
and they're
right,
way too far apart for even like a respectable catch weight.
yep. But you got Cejudo at 135.
I'd like to
You
see
got to, you
that.
got well shit. You got Demetrius Johnson at 135, right? Who else
Yeah,
you
but
got that's a high level at 135? Those
Johnson
two
kind
at
of
the
been
top
out
of
of the
my
rest.
head.
Rob,
Yeah, so that's three. At the top of my head, there are high level wrestlers that can match up better than what Bo called out. So I
I'd like
get
to,
I
I'd like to
get
see him
for
wrestle
attention
Rob.
grabbing. I get it. Huh? Say again?
I'd like to see him wrestle Marab.
Wow. Wow. I would too. That's what we should have called out.
That'd be a barn burner. You want to
That'd
talk about
be,
selling out an arena?
that would be probably the biggest non MMA match in wrestling history. I would put money. It'll break records. It'll
Could you
break records.
imagine?
You
Could you imagine if Bo gets the RAF belt, Marab still has a UFC belt, and then they make that match, champion versus champion, 135.
if they did that, and your scenario came exactly true, and they did that, the arenas they have been picking couldn't hold the amount of people who would come to see that match. They would have to do a UFC size arena for that card. That's how big is he? If
That'd be
you
jacked.
call in MMA fighters, you might want
That'd
to
be
put that
jacked.
on the table. You
That
might,
would be
hey,
out of control.
I'm freaking social media matchmaking based off that. Watch the post I put out next. Hell, I'm doing it. That if you yeah, they gotta start making some call outs. They gotta start making some call outs. Somebody got the answer for this BS. I'm not standing
Yes,
for it. Don't
especially if the
don't make
wrestler,
me don't go
especially the
ahead.
wrestler's going to keep calling them out.
Yeah, don't make me do a rant, MMA fighters, because since RAF won, we weren't paying attention with MMA fighters at RAF because they were coming from Bellator, they were coming from PFL. We weren't really, saying too much, right? Then you put Quay Guida. Quay Guida is a high level veteran. He knows the game. He knows how to get down. He's beat some of the best. We was expecting more out of that. He got teched the hell up. I was like, God dang it, God dang it. And then
I was
he
actually
got
surprised he got
flown.
checked by Henry.
No, no, not that. He got fucking thrown. You see the
Yeah, he got launched through the atmosphere. He got
Yeah, he
launched
did.
out there.
Okay, okay, fight fans, you need to understand something. I need you to understand something very, 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 very clearly. I can't even talk shit to Chris right now because MMA did so bad. Hey, there's nothing. I don't even have a comeback. I don't even have anything I can effing say. But Chris, you're right. Do you know how much my gut is hurting right now? Because that's the actual truth of the matter. Bucka Madoff was talking the most shit at the press
That shit
conference.
was, you know what? That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. It was extremely entertaining, and I loved every minute of it. I'll go, he's going to be a star based off that. He nailed that character down packed.
I
But
was dying.
he didn't get down like a Madoff. That's for daggone sure. He got launched more than once. I was like, God dang it. God
He
dang
got
it.
he got dropped on his head twice.
Yeah, he did. He got power bombed with
Well,
a reverse
my
suplex. It was yeah. Yeah.
my thing is this.
Yeah.
I was I've made this point pretty consistently that even if you were a wrestler, if you're out of the wrestling game too long, it's really really difficult to just jump back into it and return to the level you were at.
Well, if you haven't been at a level, like I will give you 100% that's the case if someone like Marab got handed easily. As hard as Marab's in his prime, he's competing with wrestling in his prime right now. If he stepped on the RAF mat and got launched like Buckley did, then I would have to shut up for this point on. I go, you're right, and call it a wrap. But everybody who's stepping on the mat is way past their prime. They're no longer at the top of their game in MMA. I mean, except I take it back. Buckley, yes, but Buckley's not known for wrestling, right?
Right, but
Clay Guida is, but Clay Guida is so far past his prime, right? That's not even a conversation we can really have. He still knows how to
oh,
wrestle. He's still really good, but he ain't prime. If he was prime and then got handled, I'd be like, well, shit, we got a problem.
the
But
chat brings up a point. What about should Dustin Poirier try to get in?
I mean, for what? He's not. He don't have a. He don't have a wrestling pedigree. I mean, entertainment fact. Okay, we're
We got to separate the
RE,
two. Who we want for entertainment?
REF
Who we
is
want for
doing
actual
is
wrestling?
yeah. REF is doing it right when it comes to what the promotion is supposed to do. You're supposed to put eyeballs on the sport on the on the promotion of REF, and they're doing that. They're getting the right MMA fighters for that. Because Chad Mendez is a big name. Michael Chandler is a big name, right? Because of REF, I'm going to say REF made it happen. He is now competing at the White House against Conor McGregor. I'm saying REF made it happen because we weren't even talking about it beforehand.
True.
So, but now we are. I say REF did that. So entertainment wise, they're doing it right. And then if they're trying to shit on MMA, they're doing that too. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it.
Hey, but wrestlers have done a lot to make MMA what it is today too, though. So it's kind of symbiotic.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, technically, you're right. Right? Technically, letter of the law, letter of the word, you're correct. Right? But wrestling is no MMA is just simply is not. Right? It is a traditional sport we love. We're not going crazy over wrestling like we are MMA, right? So when we see an MMA fighter who's supposed to be the top of the hill as far as beast go, get launched repeatedly, right? It does something to your psyche.
Well, I
So
agree.
yeah,
I agree that like even if you're not a bit like you haven't been wrestling for a while or you don't have a wrestling pedigree, if you're a mixed martial arts fighter, the one thing that should not be happening to you against a wrestler is getting thrown.
and Buckley is not weak. He did say he had to go up a little bit in weight, but shit, no. Buckley is strong as fuck. Buckley is a monster in his own right. And how he got handled, the way he got handled, I'm like, fuck, Buckley, how?
I
Right?
mean,
So now,
Pat Downey's a big
no,
son of a bitch
Downey,
too.
Downey is big and he's powerful. I get it. From a wrestling standpoint, I get it. But I'm thinking Buckley was prepared, and he absolutely was not. Did he sell it like he was supposed to? 100%. He made that match. He made that match what it was supposed to be, right? Donnie did his part, but it was Buckley who sold it, right? So
Well,
Buckley did his
he
job.
was
He earned his money.
well Buckley. You got to remember Buckley was a replacement too, so he got matched up later than the rest of the guys.
Who was the original?
Uh, the
I can't
other
remember.
the other the other MMA guy, he had an injury, so he had to pull out. So Buckley replaced him.
Oh, okay. Then I give Buckley a pass then. Short notice ass whooping I can live with. I can live with. But still, goddamn it, he got launched.
You can't get suplexed though, bro. I don't care how short notice. You're an MMA fighter.
No, I get it. No. See wrestlers. I mean MMA fighters, look what you're doing. Look what you're doing. Chris talking that shit. Chris
I'm
talking
just
that
stating the
goddamn
obvious.
shit.
I'm just
Fuck
stating the
that.
obvious. The
Fuck
one thing
that.
you
Chris
know how to
talking
do
that
is
shit.
throw as an MMA fighter.
Chris talking that shit, and I can't say shit back. You're fucking me, MMA.
Well,
I
get
want you
mad
to
at
know
them,
that.
not me. Get mad at them, not me.
No, I am mad at them. I am mad at them. But hopefully MMA was watching, right? Because what I don't want, and I'm not even saying this in a negative way, right? Izzy's doing a great job. MMA is just not matchmaking. MMA is the call out. MMA is the show up. MMA is I want that ass mentality, right? I'm still not seeing outside of Jared Brooks hitting me up and go, I want that smoke in Indiana. Outside of that, I'm not seeing any other MMA fighters get out here and call out these wrestlers who whooping that ass. So either they can't do it or they're scared to do it. One of the two. And it bet not be scared. It
What I
better
don't,
be I
what I don't
can't.
get is, what I don't get is, they're more than happy to cross over and fight boxers, which makes no sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
Except for
that's a
the
fair point.
except for the fact that they do get paid a lot more to fight the boxers. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. That's a fair concession on their part. But wrestling, like if you can hold your own against a wrestler, that proves so much more of your ability as an MMA fighter than fighting a boxer.
Well, it's the I don't expect non-wrestlers to cross over. If you come from wrestling and you got into MMA, I expect you to cross over. I expect you to call the mother effer out. I bet you to find reestablish your skill set and go what got you to the dance. If wrestling got you to the dance, then that's what you should be going after. If you came from jiu-jitsu, you don't got to go over to wrestling. If you came from
If I
kickboxing or Muay Thai, you don't have to come over. But if you come from
if
wrestling,
I
god damn it,
if I was Izzy, I'd be talking to Bo Nickel and have him canvassing that UFC locker room or guys that whose base is wrestling and selling an RAF crossover to as many of those, like opening the door to as many of those guys as possible, since you have a guy on the inside at UFC that can help you out in Bo Nickel.
And that out no, even outside of that, which is not a bad idea, right? I don't see other MMA fighters calling out Bo Nickel. I mean, because Bo is trying to come back and be on top of the game in MMA. He got a win, good for him, right? But I would expect Kobe Covington to call out Bo Nickel than Rocco, which we can talk about that later on too. If I was Kobe Covington, I'd been coming after Bo Nichols. He probably 185, right? Bo Nichols at 185, right?
205.
For wrestling, right? Huh?
205 for wrestling.
So Covington could do it. That would
Yeah.
have been a way.
So yeah, he's 205, just like he is in UFC.
Yeah. Usman can do 205. I don't know if we can do 205. Nah, Usman can't do 205. Forget that.
No, but
That's
Usman,
too.
Usman could do something like he could do something like 190 against like Valencia or Nate Jackson.
Nah, Usman's knees too bad. He's fine against a non wrestler, right? But you ain't gonna go against a superior wrestler with his knees. Nah, they ain't gonna fly.
Yeah, well, I was just saying
waiting to
that.
happen then.
I was just saying that because Usman was a really good college wrestler.
No, he was a great college wrestler. In any other scenario, that'd have been perfect. That'd have been perfect. But he like I said, he's past his prime, and B, his knees are bad. So if that wasn't the case, he'd be perfect.
That's true.
So I'm going to do. You don't got me motivated. I'm going to do my own. Hey y'all, freaking Chris did a freaking ranking system and it's actually pretty good, right? He's keep me off his back. I'll give him that. I can't say shit because he got handled in MMA. His actual freaking roster is not bad. So he got me at bay right now. They ain't gonna last long because he normally fucks up. But right now he got me in a holding pattern. I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. So
Win some,
he's doing
lose
all
some,
right.
bud.
Yeah, you ain't fucking lying. Anyway. All right, on to the next topic. Let's switch gears a little bit. The Gomez's, first of all, didn't know they were brothers and sisters on the same card. That's fucking awesome. Number one. Can't remember they both won. I'm gonna let Chris handle this in a minute. They both won their matches, which is freaking awesome, right? But we kind of missed some things I'm gonna let Chris catch up on because seeing he knew it and I didn't. So he gonna have to catch you up on something that should have been spoken about earlier. We missed this one. I'm gonna take responsibility for that too. But freaking the sister, I can't remember her name. Her and Mir got history. So go ahead, Chris. Walk everybody through it.
All right, so Alexis Gomez a couple weeks ago got tech falled by Bellamir. And Alexis Gomez surprised me and ended up.
All right, you froze up on this end. End. So repeat what you just said.
So 2 weeks ago, Alexis Gomez got tech falled by Bellamir. And I was fully expecting her to get tech falled again at RAF 03. Because I didn't see anything that gave me any indication that that would change. Mm-hmm. And normally in wrestling, if someone does beat someone, usually if they get tech falled, there's like a match in between that's a little closer. and then maybe they win, or maybe there's two matches that get closer and closer every time, and then they win. It's extremely rare to see someone get tech falled, and then 2 weeks later tech fall the person that tech falled them.
Yeah. On
So
top of that, what made that I'm gonna continue. What made that match so interesting? Now that I have all the information, it should have been the fight of the night. It was okay. It was good. It should have been the fight of the night because they both had something on the line. Gomez had the tech fall 2 weeks ago, right? And Mir had legacy on the line, saying he was going to beat his dad's record, take the Mir name higher than her dad did. She actually said that in an interview. So they both had something on the line. It should be wrestle till you die mentality with that type of pressure on both sides. If Gomez would have got tech fall twice, back to back, that talk about tarnishing her wrestling future, hands down.
now I do have something to
Mir,
add to that, though.
all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
There's a good chance these two will meet again for the national championships in college this year.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I can see it because wrestling is a tournament mentality. So of course you're gonna meet him again down the line. But we're talking about the pro ranks where your status is based off your record and your popularity, right? Gomez being teched mean her stock went down and Mir's went up with legacy and a winning record. So now, as a pro, she's in the highest earning position right now. So if she would have won, her dollar anticipation of what she can make from podcasts, from interviews, from sponsors, based off her winning, right? Gomez got a win back, so now she's even. But Mir was on the rise. Now she just lost, so that's gonna be a ding
Yeah,
because it ain't tournament.
but
It's the pro ranks.
yeah, but Mir can get that back by being here for a national title, especially with the way NIL works and all that in college, and regain that momentum.
Only if the fanfare goes along with it. Winning don't mean success in the entertainment realm. That's why when you look at any promotion, like us being media, right? We're pretty fortunate that we can be able to do what we do as media. We're pretty lucky, right? But normally, you have to have a certain amount of exposure. Your social media accounts got to be up, right? You gotta have a lot of followers. You got people have a lot of people chiming in to what you do whenever you go live. That's what most people look for in value. Just because you're winning, don't mean value to marketing dollars. NIL does good depending on what college you go to, but a particular sponsor just not going to pick you up because you're winning. They'll pick you up if you're popular. So
Well,
two ways.
I'll say this: Bellamere, by those statistics, by those um, requirements, is still in the driver's seat. Though.
Well, I mean, yeah, her name is popular, but she stated what people like to do on social media, which is why I like it, is they're not going to forget what you said, right? You said you're going to be a bigger star than your dad, right? And you're gonna shock the world, and then you get teched at REF. That's going to sting a little bit. I'm not saying her shit is over.
Well,
I'm just saying the game, how the game is played.
I'm going to keep track of it for during this college wrestling season. I'm going to see if those two get to the finals in the tournament, and that'll be a conversation to be had in the future.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet they meet again at RAF. Because
Maybe.
you heard the brother was talking shit. So
Well,
he
that's
was
what
like, look, we
that's
told
what
you.
brothers are supposed to do.
Yeah.
What's funny is
he
the
said, we
brother
told you.
What's funny is her brother was talking shit to the entirety of North Central Wrestling's fan base, which
Yeah.
is where Bellamere goes to college at, by the way. But
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, so she goes to North Central, and North Central is usually pretty good at wrestling. They're pretty big school for women's wrestling in college. So
Yep.
they were all up there, and he was like, "Yeah, you were talking big before. Now you can shut your mouths." I was like, "Dang, bro."
Yep. So
But that's what
that's what I'm
that's
saying.
what brothers are supposed
That's
to
what
do.
made RAF so pivot. That's what made RAF 03 so pivotal, is because everything was the perfect storm, from the press conference to the matches, which is how it's supposed to be done, right? You call
Yep.
out that shit at the press conference, then you got to deliver on the mat the next day. Cause even Bo Bassett said it. He said Darren was talking that big shit at the press
Yep.
conference, but he said, "Hey, we're gonna have to wrestle tomorrow, so we'll see what it is." Then he got pinned. So they getting it.
Did you see?
REF is getting it.
Did you see his fucking social media post?
No.
It showed him like tied up with Bo Bassett, and he goes,
Uh huh.
"Everyone has a plan until dot 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 dot."
Yeah. Which is true. Which is true.
Which is a graceful way to
So
take
the
it. I'll
go.
give him that.
Yeah. So the Gomez did that daggone thing. They're kind of special that both brother and sister won, and they both won spectacularly. So that's a family that we need to follow, man. I'm dying to see what they do down the line, because they made some statements, man. I loved it. They made some
Well,
statements.
at our FO4, Gomez is going to go for the belt against Yanni D. So,
Yeah.
and
Now that's
the
a
last time, the only time they've ever wrestled, he broke Yanni's 75 match winning streak in college. So
really.
he beat Yanni
All
nine to
right. Hey,
three.
put a pin in that. That's a we're gonna carry that story over to RL4. So put a pin in that.
Yep, I got that one written down.
All right. Let's continue on with the get down. All right, Spencer Lee. I'll
Okay,
let you lead with that.
I've been waiting for this. So to
All right, so
answer the
hold on. Before you talk, hold on, Chris, hold on. Okay, so give the fans a backstory. Me and Chris has been going back and forth about Spencer Lee, right? I'm saying your name can sometimes be bigger than your performances, right? And Chris said, Spencer's the real deal. I've seen this shit. He is the real deal to a point. So I'll let Chris take it from there. I'm saying to a point. Go, Chris.
so I've been waiting for to start off with the answer Marv's question in the chat. I have Spencer Lee so low in my rankings because not just of his performance at RAF, but he's starting to show a trend of shit in the bed. So
I have to agree.
I don't trust him to be able to win a RAF belt at this moment. That's why he's number 4 in my rankings.
And let me add on to what Chris just said. Okay, sometimes we as fans, we just look at the sport as the sport. We look at wrestling as wrestling, but we don't take into consideration all the other factors of fan participation. Sometimes fans can be brutal. You know what I'm saying? Now you're getting paid to play, which means sponsors expect you to perform. Your check is tied to your fight record or wrestling record, right? Your legacy of what school you come from. All these things can play in your head every time you hit the mat, right? And sometimes that pressure can be overwhelming And sometimes you just can't muster up to get past, right? Because a lot more factors that you never had to worry about. It's one thing to just wrestle. All you gotta do is wrestle, though nobody knows shit. They're gonna love you anyway because you wrestle, right? But now you're getting paid. Now checks are tied to you winning now. That's a whole nother ball game. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, so that's why I got him that low in the rankings. But I think it leads to a bigger picture. Iowa also lost Iowa State over the week this week, which is only the third time they've done that since 1986. And in the national duels, they got mollywopped by Ohio State. So it seems like Iowa does good at recruiting still, but what I don't have faith in is it doesn't seem like their coaches are developing their talent, because they also have a roster of transfers, and those transfers aren't getting any better going to Iowa. The transfers aren't really doing their thing either.
Okay, so I'm trying to get what you're saying. I get them, but we're talking about Lee. He's already an established. Okay, continue.
I'm getting there. I'm just tying a bunch of stuff together here real quick.
Okay.
I think Spencer Lee's at the same point. I think that he got to a certain point while he was at Iowa. He plateaued out, and he doesn't have the coaching to get him back to where he needs to be. Which we had this discussion earlier in the year after Worlds, and it just ties into the whole thing. I think the entire program is and Spencer Lee's like the biggest symptom of that entire program.
Okay, but this ain't Russia. If he wasn't performing, he can get a new coach. He can add a second.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to go get a new coach. He needs to go to a new club.
Why didn't he though? Why didn't he though? He's a grown ass man.
What? The only thing I can think of is loyalty.
Okay, loyalty to losing?
Look, I'm just saying what it appears to be from the outside looking in. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, no, I ain't gonna lie, I get it. I'm a coach. I expect my fighters to do what the fuck I say, right? Don't question me. Just do your fucking job. I get it. So they're not. So I get what you're saying. I'm just throwing devil advocate out there. I knew the answer, right? We're not gonna question our coaches. We're just not. You know what I'm saying? It's not in our DNA. If our coach says this is the game plan, this is the effing game plan. We're not gonna question it. You know. Now maybe our freaking significant others, or maybe our parents, depending on how old you are. You know, somebody else may question it, but we're not going to as an athlete who has a coach. You know what I'm saying? So right. I get it. I'm just fucking with you. I get it.
I think it would help him. I think it would help him a lot to go to like Cowboy RTC and get under David Taylor. I think that would help him out a lot. Like Real Woods. Like Real Woods wrestled at Iowa his senior year, and as soon as he graduated, he's over at Cliff Keen over in Michigan, and he's having results.
He needs, first of all, he needs a sports psychiatrist. He need to be on somebody's couch, right?
That's fact.
Because if you don't think what just happened at REF is not fucking him up, we ain't paying attention. Pin 1 second left of somebody of his caliber to be in a position to get pinned first off. To be in a position to be pinned first off at his level, right? Then to be pinned with 1 second left on the clock on national TV. If you think he don't need to be on somebody's couch, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Marv said he needs Jesus.
Yes.
He needs to go to, he needs to go to church. He needs to go to church.
Yeah, he needed to be in church like ASAP.
No,
Dude,
but
that is
that specifically though, that's why I tell wrestlers all the time, don't wrestle to protect a lead in the third period because stupid shit will happen. Wrestle
yeah.
aggressively the entire match. Spencer
Yeah.
shut it down after he had a big lead. He tried to. He thought he could just coast through the rest of the match and defend his lead, and then his dumbass gets caught.
Yeah. And that's why wrestlers don't talk shit. It's because shit like this can happen, right? In the MMA game, right? It's all of it matters. Wins and losses matter. It's all how you won and lost. You can lose but fought your ass off. You're still a winner, even though you lost, but you fought your fucking ass off. We're not gonna penalize you for the loss. Now, if you get mollywopped, right, that's a different story, right? But if you fought your ass off, your stock doesn't go down, okay?
Well,
But in wrestling, you don't have any other clout to write on. You don't talk in the mic, so you can't get paid off that. You're not going to podcast. You don't have a podcast. You can't get paid off that, right? The only thing you get paid off of is how you do on the mat, right? And
yep.
then 1 second is hard. That's
Well,
a hard check to cut. That's a hard check to cut.
and the thing is, like, dude, you can't get fucking thrown, bro.
Man, shit.
Like,
Yeah.
step out, back your ass up out of bounds, and give up a point before you get thrown. Sink your
Yeah.
hips and run away from that dude. Why are you tying up in the first place?
That's a
Like, what are you doing?
Well, see, that's what I mean. You're making valid points, but we're both looking at it the same and different at the same time. Okay, so you're looking at it from the pure wrestling standpoint, right? Which everything you said is 100% correct. I'm looking at it as an entertainment standpoint, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. He gotta keep selling the match the whole way through so he can build his fan base. Because that's what people don't understand. What happens in the dressing room is this: I want entertainment. I want excitement. I want the fans going crazy. If you're coasting, I don't want to bring you back. They're not gonna say it loud on the podcast, but it's being said in locker rooms when a promotion is tied to ticket sales and pay-per-views. If
Well,
it's
yeah.
boring across the board, no one's buying shit.
Well, yeah, and I think you're seeing that in a couple aspects.
Yeah.
Tony Cassioppi forcing a gut wrench when he's down 9-8 instead of just letting it get back to his feet because he had the momentum because he's trying to be entertaining, right?
Yeah.
And as a wrestler, you got to balance, be entertaining, but don't don't lose the match because you're trying something you know won't work. Like, still stay within yourself as far as what, like, you were down 9-2 and you worked yourself back to 9-8 just to force something and get pinned for entertainment. You already entertained us.
Yeah.
It's a 9-8 heavyweight match in the second period. We are already, as Gladiator says, we are purely entertained. We are entertained. Thank you, heavyweights, for scoring fucking points.
Yeah.
Don't force
Yeah.
a gut wrench
Now,
against
I would say you were right. He was going for the slam. He was not the slam mean wrestling. He was going for the highlight reel. He was going
Yes.
for I want to end in a spectacular fashion, and it backfired. So yeah,
Now,
he kind of fucked himself on
Spencer
that one.
Lee's point is, if you're trying to keep the match entertaining, then why are you defending your lead for 2 whole periods? Because you were up 7-2 or something after the first period. And then you basically didn't try to score again the rest of the match.
And it was
why you won.
match of the night. I had match of the night with that one.
Yes, I do
was
too.
I was on board with that one. And then the pin, I'm still on board. I still consider it the match of the night. I still consider it the match of the night. Let's be
think
clear.
that-
I consider it the match of the night. it
The
just ended
Tizudinov
horribly for somebody.
the Tizudinov Cassiope match was also extremely entertaining. That was also a really good match.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was.
That match was
It was.
9-8 when he got pinned, and he got pinned because he was trying to force something. So I can't fault him for it, but it was super entertaining.
Well, to be
The
honest, I
crowd
only
was
seen
so
half that
good.
match, so I really can't speak on that match as much. I only seen half of it, so. But it
Yeah,
was
like
good from what I saw.
that match had the like when he was making his comeback, the crowd was on their feet. They were amped up. Like like not too often a heavyweight match gets the crowd jacked through the roof. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that heavyweight match had the crowd amped up.
Yeah. So, yeah. Spencer got, yeah. Yeah.
There's there's a whole essentially thinks it's a symptom of there's a whole problem going on at and the only reason that's important is because of the prestige the Iowa program has. So it's important to tie that in because when Iowa's not good, when Iowa's struggling, that is a gigantic like story and a gigantic problem in the sport of wrestling.
But only outside of hardcore wrestling fans like yourself, only you would know that, right? All the new fans who are getting on board with RAF, especially if they come from MMA stuff like that, they're not gonna know that. All
Yep.
they're gonna know is Spencer got pinned 1 second before the buzzer. That's all they're gonna know.
I'm just
You know.
I'm just trying to use the Spencer Lee and rap thing to help introduce some of these fans
Oh no, I
to
get it. I'm just giving you
that,
both sides. You're giving the wrestling side. I'm giving you the casual fan, MMA side. That's all I'm doing.
which is perfect.
Yeah,
That's
but I get what you're saying. All right, moving on. We got MMA guys getting title shots off rip and the call out. So go ahead and lead with it, Chris.
so. I made a little video about this on social media the other day, trying to get some of our fans' opinions on this. To be clear, I love the crossover. I get the idea of it, thoroughly enjoy it. It's great for the promotion. It's great for both sports. But part of this right here is what inspired me to go ahead and go through all these RAF events and get a ranking system out there of champion, number one contender, number two contender, blah blah, in the UFC style, right? So I want
Yeah.
to highlight, like, for example, David Carr wrestling Bilal Muhammad for a belt. In my opinion, there's three wrestlers above him that deserve that title shot before Bilal.
I
So
agree. I can't even argue.
I get we're trying to do entertainment, but if we're going to have MMA guys being the main event, no belt, and we're going to have MMA guys come in jumping everybody wrestling for a belt, what I'm afraid is you're going to accidentally devalue the value of having a belt.
Okay, so I everything you said is correct, right? I agree with you 100%, right? So now let's once again let me devil's advocate and where we're currently
Yep.
at, right? To this point, before REF, everybody else has failed at pro wrestling. Has failed. No one has been successful to this date. The reason being is that they focused on selling wrestling. Wrestling already exists. You don't have to sell it. REF is a promotion. Period. Their product is wrestling. Okay? So,
Yep.
by putting on entertaining matches is what their job is. Now, I agree. Muhammad should not be getting a title shot off the call out, right? He should go up the ranks just like any other sport of
They're giving
combat.
Romero a
Ranking
title
comes,
shot too.
yeah. It should be a ranking system. If this is your debut, ain't no way in hell you should be getting a title shot, right? I'm 100%. But you also said no weight class is stacked. You know what I'm saying? So any new
Well,
body is primarily a
well,
body.
they have three or four of the weights are pretty well established,
Okay.
and that's what I'm saying. Like the guys they're bringing in, them May guys are getting title shots. Yes, they are. Those two are specifically in weight classes that have not been filled out yet.
Yeah.
So I get it, but but to
Okay.
me, like if you get, I'm okay with being entertained. But if you want David Carr to wrestle Bilal, that's fine. Just say the belt's not on the line.
But
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
that's Bilal. He's one. Okay, first of all, if he was fighting in Chicago, I can see how they got there. But I mean Indiana ain't that far away, so I guess it's still in the same demographics. But A, it's a debut. I'm not down with that, right? B, he's a pretty big star, so you probably can't. He probably wasn't going for just throwing him on the card, right? Unless you're gonna pay him. So it was either the belt opportunity and less money, or they probably couldn't afford him. Bilal ain't a Rudy Poot now. He's a headliner. He's a
I
headliner.
from what I'm gathering though, it seems like a lot of these guys are taking hometown discounts for Raph.
Yeah, probably.
You know, like or they're looking at like, hey, I have another avenue to keep my name going after UFC. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to tell from the outside looking in. I'm
Well,
just
shit.
I'm just
No, we
I'm just
can't even say
speculating.
that because hold on, we can't even say that because they're not fucking winning. Buckley got thrown to the ceiling. Guida got fucking folded. You know what I'm saying? Freaking Darren got pinned. You know what kind of new road you looking to get on? You still losing. We can't even say that shit. God damn it. So what are we saying? So what are we saying? Now,
I'm
paycheck,
I'm
yes.
speculating.
But
I'm
hold on.
speculating.
Paycheck, yes. But if you are saying it like you saying it, they getting a discount for getting their ass whooped. What's the upside? What's the upside? Not a goddamn thing.
Maybe they just want to do
Now,
it. They're
granted,
just curious.
you're not if you're not fighting at the UFC, you're not getting paid. So if you're not fighting nowhere, you got to do something. These bills still got to get paid. So I get it. But now if you're taking a discount, and Bilal, like I said, Bilal ain't no Rudy Poop. So that negotiation most likely had to have a belt. Well, no, because Michael Chandler and Mendez didn't get the belt.
Well,
I
Chandler
can
and
even say
Mendez
that.
said it out loud. Mendez and Chandler said it out loud though. They wanted to give back to the sport. They said that at the press
Okay.
conference.
Well, I mean, well, once again, entertainment.
Yeah,
Entertainment.
but I'm
I
saying
get it.
they at least said it out loud. And since they were actual like high level wrestlers in college, I kind of believe them more than so than anybody else.
Well, see, Chris, you making these hard conversations, right? I get what they said in the press conference. So let me ask you that question. Did they deliver that as the main event? Giving back to the sport.
I think as far as getting the getting RAF's name out there and building up the excitement for the event, I think they did. Yes.
Okay.
Was the
Letter of the
match the
word,
greatest?
yes.
Was the match the greatest? No, but I don't think anybody
Okay.
was expecting. I don't think anybody was expecting that match to be great. You know what I mean?
But see, yes, we were. It was an effing main event. Do you know what the main event means?
Yeah, I
That means
said
you're
it
the
should be.
best of.
I
That
said
means
it.
it means you're the best of the best. That means your job not only does the card rides on you, people are showing up for you. Knockouts and the best of the best supposed to happen from you. That's why they're normally title shots. The main event is normally a title shot for that very reason. You are selling the card. You are selling the event. The tickets are being paid because of you. Now, are these guys popular? Yes. When they were both going against each other, I guaranteed everybody going, "Oh shit, I gotta watch this." I guarantee that was the case. Guaranteed. But
I
that's
think.
what the spot is for.
I think as far as the ticket sales and getting asses in seats, it did its job as the main event. Um,
Yeah,
now
it did.
I'm on the record of before this happening, right? We're both on the record of this that we
Yeah,
didn't think it should be the main event because me and you are both on the same page that main events should be reserved for title bouts.
I agree. And on top of that, it should be reserved for pure wrestlers. An MMA fighter is always the challenger. Know how I always say there's an A side and a B side? The A side should always be the wrestler, right? The B
I agree.
side should always be the MMA fighter. Now, granted, Mendez and Chandler are more popular than freaking 98% of everybody on that card worldwide. Specifically wrestling, no. Worldwide as entertainment fighters, combat athletes, yes. So
Now I will say this: hindsight, looking at how the card went down, there was only two title bouts on that card,
yeah,
and
yeah,
had Real Woods and Jordan Oliver been the main event, it
yeah.
would have ended very depressingly.
Uh
So I think
from a
they kind of
belt
got
stand
lucky
from a belt standpoint.
because, well, I'm saying that because the Oliver Woods match was atrociously bad.
Oh yeah, well yeah,
So to be fair, they kind of got lucky in hindsight
yeah,
because even the match Chandler and Mendez had was still more entertaining than Woods Oliver.
yeah. All right, so give me your take. I'm in agreement. First of all, I'm in agreement, but give me your take on the why. Did they give each other too much respect? And then how the belt was won is up for debate too.
Yeah, I mean the belt was run on criteria, which we already know how I feel about fucking criteria.
Yep.
Um, but the match was just two passivity calls and a push out. It was like it just wasn't good. Now I do think the rematch will be much better because that feel out process is over now. And I guarantee you somebody said something like, "Hey, you motherfuckers better not do that again."
So okay. Explain why the rematch. I got my opinion and you got yours. Well, I got the social media opinion and you got yours. So give me your opinion. Why the
So
rematch so quickly?
from the wrestling perspective, when I did these rankings, the featherweight division is probably the least developed division in RAF right now. It's literally Oliver, Woods, Bassett, and Caldwell. That is it.
Yeah.
So really, the only match you could make at this weight class is a rematch right now.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're right. I'm not even gonna say anything because the only other person that could have stepped up that would have made it a interesting match would have been Bassett. He's already booked. So, well, no, he's booked for December. I don't know. He got planned for January. So technically,
I don't
that could
think
have happened.
Bassett's on.
But
I don't think Bassett's on the Indiana card.
oh no, he's on the January card,
I think he's going to be on the
right?
Miami card. Yeah, I think he's going to be in
Oh.
'05. That's what I'm saying. This match is at
Oh,
'05
okay. Oh
too.
five. My bad. My bad. My bad.
So I think Bassett's going to wrestle the next guy they're going to put in this weight class. And maybe the
Yeah.
winner of that match will wrestle the winner of Oliver Woods in 6 or 7.
Okay.
I could see
Well,
that.
hopefully by then they'll have a roster. Hopefully by then.
Well, like they said, I think they have a roster. It's just even with doing an event once a month and only having 10 bouts, it's hard to get everybody on the roster on the mat.
Well, I mean, it's cool that they're doing once a month, but that's kind of a struggle for the other aspects of a promotion, right? The last thing about a promotion is the actual match itself. That's the last thing, right? It's it's the PR, it's the backstories, it's the it's the good guy versus the bad guy. It's all these things that got to happen first before the match happens. When you're doing an event every month, there's no time for guys like us to do the backstories or to do the ramp up to do, hey, this is why this is a great match, right? Because by the time we get it, we haven't even got done with the last card yet. We got to go from REF 3 right into REF 4 without any momentum to go on, without any feedback. The fans can't go, yeah, man, I agree with you. What do you think about this? So we can't even do any follow ups on some of the questions we're going to get asked, off air because we got to get
This
right
is
into REF 4.
this is kind of how I'm looking at it. I think they're doing monthly events for the first year because they need to build a provable fan base. And
Yeah, but that ain't the only reason.
I
That ain't the
think
only
as
reason.
the
That's
well, I'm just
it.
I
Go
think
ahead.
as the promotion age, I think as the promotion ages, they'll start spreading it out a little bit, maybe going to 6 weeks or every 2 months. Especially if they start doing these weekly shows that they said they're doing to try and get all these guys on the roster mat time. So I think it's just an initial ramp up is what they're doing to try and get the name out there, get the promotion out there, get everything kind of rolling, get the initial build of each weight class, get the initial roster rolling. And I think you'll
Also,
see a
you
different
got
setup down the road.
well. Also, you got to keep in account. Fox Nation probably wanted so many shows a year.
That's probably true.
So
That's probably true.
if they're doing once a month, Fox Nation probably goes, we want once a month, probably.
Yeah, Fox Nation probably said, "Hey, if we're paying you, we want content every month. We want people
Yeah.
tuning in every month to watch." I agree with that 100% because it's
So
basically it's like anything else. In the first every business, right? The first 2 to 4 years is when you're going to make it or break it. So they're going breakneck speed trying to make it. You know what I mean? It makes sense.
yeah. Well, they said they were able to redo the contract. So, but they did say they were doing 12 a year before they said they were able to redo their contract at the press conference. So maybe that was on the table. Could you deliver? Could you deliver this? If you can, maybe we can look at renegotiation. So I'm pretty sure some form of conversation like that had to have happened.
Sounds like they
Because
were pretty confident.
once a month is an effing lot, man. Once a month. Look how big the UFC is, and I've never heard them say they're doing a UFC event once a month because you need a roster, which RAF don't have.
Well,
So
I
you got
think
to wear
that's
these guys out every month.
I think RAF does have a roster. It's just that, in fact, the way they made it seem at the press conferences, they have such a big roster that the monthly events aren't even enough to get all the guys on the roster wrestling. That's why they were talking about going to the weekly events to get the rest of the guys on the roster ability to wrestle.
Ah,
I mean, that's what they said.
I'm not sure about that. I get it. I just know the game. I just know the game. Like I said, having a roster and having a deliverable roster. Once again, this is a promotion. You're selling tickets and pay-per-views. That's why the UFC can put somebody with a losing record, not knocking Michael Chandler, right? But Michael Chandler has lost several matches in a row, right? Normally that will get you cut from the UFC. But he's so popular that he still gets to fight Conor McGregor at the White House with a losing record. So it's not having a roster, it's having a deliverable roster, a roster that can deliver fans. So without that, it's just a body.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? They also are trying to figure out who's deliverable at this point too, still, right? Right. So
I'm gonna ask my next question. Go continue, but that brings up my next question.
if they go to these weekly events that they're talking about and getting the rest of their roster on the mat more frequently, they can probably help them evaluate who deserves to be on the main monthly card more efficiently because they can see them and they can evaluate them. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's transition, like we were just saying, monthly events. Okay, so monthly events and roster. So explain to me. I mean, you know wrestling extremely well. You know MMA pretty good, right? I know MMA extremely well. I know wrestling pretty good. Okay? Based off what you said in the roster, what's your take on Covington versus Rockhold for REF? Explain the why of that particular match. Based off this
To,
conversation of roster.
to be fair, I don't know because even when I watch UFC, I never watch a UFC event to watch Rockhold do anything.
Yeah.
So I don't, short of RAF telling us why they made the match. I get why Covington's there. Covington was a Division I wrestler for Oregon State.
Yeah.
I get why Covington's there. I understand that's
Mm-hmm.
half of it. But why they put him against Rockhold, I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't.
I don't even know why Covington didn't call out anybody on the RAF roster with his pedigree in wrestling. He had the pedigree to call out anybody in his weight class. He could have called out Downey, right?
Well, I'll tell you, that's a cruiserweight match.
Okay.
So
What's the weight on that?
190.
190.
So
That's a Bo Nickel.
At 190,
That's a
no,
Bo Nickel all day long. If it wasn't for Romero.
No, Bo Nickel is at 205. But cruiserweight,
That's a
he could have had Starachi, Tech Eisen, Nate Jackson, Valencia, Godzi, or Date.
Yeah.
I would I would have liked to see him called out like maybe Nate Jackson. That probably would that would I would have been interested to see that.
Well, the only scenario I have is kind of like what happened with Michael Chandler and Chad Mendes, right? They were both wrestlers, but based off the crowd participation, Michael Chandler was the bigger star, right? Now Michael Chandler went off to call out somebody else, right? I can't forget who did Michael Chandler call out? I can't remember.
Oh, he called out other UFC guys.
Yeah, he called out somebody else that had a name, and also he's now fighting Conor McGregor. So he's the bigger value of the two, right? So my guess is, like you said before, they're probably setting Covington up for somebody else. So they're giving him Rockhold to get him on the roster, and then he's after he because now they're making call outs before the match even happened. They already
Now
said Bo Bassett. Go ahead.
to be fair, Chandler wrestled at 75, so they could be setting up Covington versus Chandler.
Yeah, that could be.
So I could see that.
Yeah, matter
I'd
of
be
fact,
I'd,
that's a
I'd
great
be
scenario.
I'd be interested to see that because at least Chandler and Mendez were both Division One wrestlers.
Yeah,
So it made perfect sense to me that yes, you're going for the name, but these dudes were at like Mendez was an NCAA runner up. Like that's a legit thing. That's a
yeah,
legitimate wrestler.
yeah,
Chandler was an NCAA All American. That's a legitimate wrestler.
yeah.
That's the kind of MMA versus MMA fights matches you should be making in RAF.
I agree. I agree.
So maybe
I
getting Covington's feet wet with this match, and then having him and Chandler go at it down the road, and Rockhold's just a sacrificial lamb to make that happen. That's the only scenario that makes sense to me.
hmm,
And
I can
you
go
know
with
what?
it.
I'm actually okay with
And you might as well put another MMA fighter so you don't lose any traction with Covington moving up. So I get it. And they're not above calling out the next match for a particular wrestler before he even wrestles the match he's already in. They already had Bo slated to fight another opponent before he even won the match he was already in. I was like, well, shit. I guess they saying Bo gonna win, huh? So that could be it.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I didn't have any doubts that Bo was going to win.
Oh, neither did I. But from
So it makes
from
sense.
from a fighter perspective, if I'm Darren and I'm sitting there hyping the fight up on the press conference, and I hear the promoter goes, yeah, and after this fight, Bo Bassett's going to fight so at RAF 5. I go, are you saying I'm gonna lose? You get what I'm saying? That's gonna throw a negative
Well,
on his opponent.
I'll give Darian this much credit. Even if he heard even if he heard that, he knows as well as everyone else in the crowd knows, that anyone else on the planet knows, that Bo Bassett is the next generation in the sport and in RAF and in everything else, right? And he knows that because he's 37 years old. He's just there for the ride for as long as he can have the ride. Going out in the sunset, doing what he wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Oh, no! Don't get me wrong. I get. Okay, we're talking business. I get everything about that match for Darren is a up. Everything. Even losing, his check had already cleared. And leading up to that match with Bo Bassett, all the eyes were on him fighting Bo Bassett. He made out good. I guarantee he got plenty of press calls for to be on
Yep.
podcasts to talk about it, right?
He did
He
great
got
press
plenty. He
conference.
got yeah. He made out good. I guaranteed he made plenty of side money off matching up against Bo Bassett at RAF3. So I'm sure he's good. I'm sure he's good. I'm just saying the scenario of how sports plays out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Part of you's got to be like these mother.
Cause if I caught it in that mindset, somebody else did. You know what I'm saying? So, and it makes for good
Yeah,
press. So, it is what it is. No, like I said,
but
news is news. That's what I always say. News is news. When something happens, it's news. If it has a snowball chance of getting traction, it's news. Covington versus Rockhold is news. It
yeah,
is. It's news because it's
yeah, that's
happening in
true.
the REF. It's news. So
That's true. That's true. I'll give you
no
that.
matter how you want to shake it up. And you said REF 4 gonna have how many title defenses titles on that card?
Right now, there's 6,
Which is pretty
which is
daggone
crazy.
good by comparison.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. On such a such a tight roster, that is really good. I'll be straight up with you. So,
Well,
but
the way it worked out, like you got some dudes that are defending their titles that won their title at RAFO 1.
yeah,
So you got three of
yeah.
those, at least 3 of those matches are dudes that won at RAFO 1 that won their belt and they haven't made a defense yet.
You said Yanni's fighting in June, right?
What's in June?
When is Yanni fighting? You said June, right?
Yanni's wrestling at RAFO 4.
Yes, I meant my bad 4. Yeah, so Yanni coming back is going to be
Yanni's coming back. Evan Wick's coming back. And Hendrickson. Those are the 3 that won at RAFO 1 that won their belt that haven't defended yet.
oh, that's right. Michael Chandler called out Jordan Burroughs. That's
Yeah,
that's what we called out.
yeah.
That's what we called out.
That's
So
real dumb. That's real dumb.
so no,
No, for business is great.
wrestling wise,
For
yes,
business,
no, wrestling wise, yeah, yeah, but to get a check cut, right? You got Michael Chandler. So think about momentum. Think about momentum now. You got Michael Chandler winning at RAF, going to compete at the White House, right? Then potentially being able to come back and fight Jordan Burroughs. People will pay for that. People
yeah,
will
I
pay
say
for that. And God forbid,
business decision.
he beats Connor. God forbid he beats Connor.
As I'm saying, from a business perspective, phenomenal.
Yeah.
From a wrestling
Yeah.
perspective, you dumb.
Well, just like you said, if you've been out the game, are you as I'm not saying Michael Chandler has a snowball chance in hell of beating Burroughs, but Burroughs has been out the game for a while. So what can we expect? Look at Bo Bassett's not Bo Bassett. Look at Bo Nichols' performance when he came back at RAF 1. He wasn't as sharp, it wasn't as smooth, wasn't as spectacular. He just got through it. Are we gonna
I
see that
agree.
with
That's why.
Jordan Burroughs versus Michael Chandler?
I mean, it's always a possibility,
Yeah.
but like that's why with Bo Nickel coming back at RAFO 4, and they give him Yoel Romero, right? Like you got Trent Hidlay in that weight class wrestling on that card as well against Cardenas. That's to me. I'm looking at that as a number 1 contenders match.
Yeah.
and that's why my ranking. That's why my rankings reflect that
Mm-hmm.
because Trent Hidley is the current world champion. So even if Bo Nicholson come back, he's going to beat Romero. There's no guarantee he's going to keep his belt after he wrestles Hidley.
I got you. I
But
got
I, but like I said, that weight class, light heavyweight's not fully developed yet either,
you. Mm-hmm.
because you're talking about Bo Nickel, Hidley, Cardenas, and Pat Downey. That's the weight class.
Yeah. And that ain't
So
too shabby.
they still
That's
got,
fucking pretty good.
yeah. And then the other two guys are Buckley and Romero, who I didn't even put in the rankings because I'm not sure they're doing any more than just that one show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Buckley might have a one off. I don't know. Clay Guida might be back. I think we may see Clay Guida again.
I
Just like we
put
saw Darren.
Chandler and Mendez in the rankings because they both made it seem like this wasn't a one-off. They want to keep doing this. So the MMA guys I thought were not one-offs. I put in the rankings. The guys that I'm pretty sure are one-offs, I left out of the rankings. That's how my mindset
Well,
was.
I wouldn't even put any MMA fighter doesn't have a wrestling pedigree should even be in the rankings. Chad Mendez and Michael Chandler has wrestling pedigrees, so they can only get better. This may be this last match may have been just getting the rust off. Their next one could be pure wrestling at its
I mean, that's
finest.
true. I mean,
You can't say that. You can't say that. But a non MMA, a MMA with non wrestling credentials. You can't. It's hard to say.
I agree. And then I had someone comment that I left Henschel off the rankings.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
when I
That shit
posted
happens.
on TikTok, and I told him the only reason he's not in the rankings is because both his matches have been catch weights.
I got you. Good point. Good
So
point.
that's the only reason why I haven't put him in yet until he wrestles a match where it's an actual weight class where they're saying, "Hey, Henschel, we're we're going to allow you to work your way up and try and wrestle for a title maybe at some point if you get to a point." Once I know that's concrete, I'll put Henschel into the rankings somewhere or whatever weight class it is.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't know how soon Romero got the info about this match, but Romero has been staying active. And Romero is crazy. This ain't gonna be an easy walk for Bo.
Well,
This ain't gonna be an easy walk for Bo.
Romero was a very, very, very good wrestler for Cuba before anything else.
Yeah.
But
On top of
but
that, Romero is
but he's
crazy.
but he's 48 years old, bro.
Yeah. He's 48. Genetically, he's probably 38. As far as how his body has been to hold up, he's still in top tier physical shape.
I agree, but he can't turn his head.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, he has a completely fused neck, and it's wrestling.
Okay, but he's a psycho.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying the man's not a freak of nature, but he is. But
Okay,
still, he is still
I'm
48.
saying no. I'm saying this is as unpredictable as it gets, right? I don't know if you're gonna see a 100% wrestling match.
It's it's
I'm
it's
saying
pretty.
I'm saying Romero might throw Bo into the stands on GP. We don't know what we're gonna get.
I
This
still think
this
it's pretty.
this may this is gonna be as unpredictable as it gets. To think pure is not something you should be doing.
I
It's
mean,
not something you should be doing.
as a wrestling guy, it's pretty predictable for me, honestly. And the MMA guys don't really have a
Okay.
great track record right now.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, based on what MMA and wrestling's been doing right lately, I can't in good conscience say Romero could win the match.
No, but if anybody can get somebody off their feet is Romero.
I mean, yeah, the guy's strong as shit for no reason. I get it.
Yeah. So somebody can get tossed. That's all I'm saying. That don't mean it's gonna happen. Bo's pretty good. I'm not saying Bo is not gonna be prepared for this match. I'm saying you may not know what to prepare the fuck for. Is what I'm saying. That's what
I
I'm
would
saying.
say shoot at the legs and don't tie up at all. That's what I would say.
Yeah, and that would be the right play. You tie up, shit gonna happen.
Yeah, don't tie up because Romero might just lock his hands for no reason and just try to throw you every single time you lock up. Like just avoid that like the
I'm
plague.
I'm I'm saying he's gonna be doing joint throws. Give you an example. My good friend in Poland, right? When I was in Greece, every time we met each other, we locked up, right? We don't understand handshake, right? So every time we hand fighting for position, right? Every
That
time I
sounds
went,
like me.
I went
Sounds like me hurting my kids.
yeah, I went for an underhook. Every time I went for an underhook, he tried to elbow lock turn, right? Every fucking time. Right? That's what I mean. No matter what we were doing, he'll lock the elbow trying to turn. I go, man, I gotta work, man. I gotta hold this camera. He didn't give two
That tracks.
shits.
That
He didn't
tracks.
give two shits. I mean, that's what I mean. He did it every time. So that was my go-to move that I couldn't go to. It didn't matter what side he would lock. He would go for an elbow throw every time. Lock the elbow and spin me. I like this fucker right here. So that's what I mean.
It makes
American
sense.
wrestling versus international wrestling. We don't know what they're gonna bring to the table. Gonna get
Yeah, I
interesting.
mean,
And he's crazy.
and Romero
All
don't
right,
get
man. Let's wrap
tired.
it up. Let's wrap it up. We're at 9:30, man. Let's close this out. I got shit to do.
Well, we didn't even bring up Chandler and Mendez saying that wrestling was harder than MMA.
Oh no, yeah, my bad. Fuck all that. Yeah, we
I
got
mean,
we got a couple more
that's
minutes.
kind of a big deal. That's kind of a big deal.
That's a very big deal. All right, fight fans. Yeah, Chris saved that one. I almost forgot. So, REF3, both Chad Mendez and Michael Chandler both said wrestling is harder than MMA. Right? Chris nodded his head yes, like an ass. We were at
Because
the
they're
press
right.
conference, so I couldn't really come at him, right? All I said is I can't wait for this mother effing podcast. So chat, so I'm gonna throw this to the chat. Chat, do you think wrestling is harder than MMA? So put your comments in it. Now I have a reason to go at Chris's ass because he been winning up to this point and I ain't like it. So Chris, walk us through why you think wrestling is harder than MMA.
Well, I'll say this. I was a jiu-jitsu guy before I started wrestling.
Okay.
Jiu-jitsu is practice is pretty easy.
Okay.
There's not a lot like it's just wrestling's a combination of like if I took every martial art, added the cardio of boxing, and then decided that I hated my life for every moment of it and wrapped that into a ball. And then decided that I was going to do that every day for the rest of my life and somehow I was going to survive. Like they like they call wrestling the hardest 6 minutes in sport for a reason. And then
Mm-hmm.
like you add like the mental side of it to the physical. It's just all around. It's like being a boxer and being a chess grandmaster at the same time.
Okay.
It's brutal. Absolutely
I got
brutal.
you. All right, so let's be clear. I know what Chris is talking about because I wrestled too. I didn't do jujitsu, but I had to train against jujitsu practitioners, so I get it. Right? So I wrestled too. I know of what Chris speaks. Okay. But wrestling is good or not good. Tired or not tired. Right? Skill or not skills. That's wrestling in a nutshell. And if you're missing any of those points, you will get handled. That's wrestling. You got to have a superior gas tank. You got to have superior grappling. You got to be mentally tough, right? And you got to weather the storm. I get it. He's right in all aspects. But what wrestling does not do, right, is shut shit off, right? You can get tired, you can get pinned, but nothing is shutting your shit off, right? With MMA, you have to not only toughen your whole body to weather a number of storms, right? If you ever been kicked in your leg by a superior Muay Thai or kickboxer, one kick to your thigh will shut your leg off, and you're basically fighting on one leg, right? Somebody who knows how to throw a teep kick to your midsection where you could no longer breathe 10 seconds into a match, and you got 3 minutes to catch your breath while somebody can kick your ribs out of your body, kick your head off, punch your head off, do a number of things that you have to account for that wrestling simply does not. Hand fighting, yes. A takedown, yes. A throw, yes. Getting fatigued, like Chris called me out on one shit, and he was right, and I fucking went and let him have it, right? In a match, in an MMA match, I forgot who it was. It was Jeff versus Lori. With Jeff, what was it? What was
I
that
think we
match
were
we saw?
arguing. I think we were arguing if someone gassed out or not. We were all like, "Yeah, you
Yeah,
absolutely did,"
exactly. He gassed
and you
out,
were
and I
like,
went and let
"No."
Chris have it, or Jeff. I said, fuck the both of them. Right? So I get gas tank. If your gas tank runs out, you're done in wrestling. Right? If your gas tank runs out in wrestling, in MMA, you may have potential other skills if you're well rounded. Going to the ground, doing jiu-jitsu, doing other things to weather the storm till you catch your breath. That is not going to happen in wrestling. Right? So you have to think more in MMA than you have to think in wrestling. That's
Oh, it
that's
was a dude that
paramount.
it was a dude that fought that Polish motherfucker.
Yeah, I just can't remember. It was Jeff. Jeff was the guy, or yeah, Jeff was the guy's name. I can't remember the guy, his opponent's name. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
there's too many things that can get you hurt in MMA that doesn't exist in wrestling. That's the danger. That's why it's harder in MMA because you can't be a pure wrestler and think you're going to survive long until somebody catches you with
I
other
don't think
things.
that's what I don't think that's what they meant though.
I mean, training is training, right? Wrestling training is hard as fuck. But if you have to be good at 5 other arts, that's harder. If you have to be well rounded at 5 other skill sets, that's harder.
I don't. What I'm saying is, I don't think they were saying the competitions, like the actual competition, was harder.
They're preparing what you got to go through in wrestling. I get it. No, I get what you're
I
saying.
I think that's what they were saying. I think they were saying the day to day grind of wrestling is physically and mentally harder than the day to day grind of MMA. I think that's what they were trying to say.
And I say that's all for salesmanship because you're on a wrestling, you know, it's a slap. I'm not saying it's a pure slap in the face, but it's kind of a kick in the balls when you're MMA fighters. You chose MMA to make your money because wrestling wasn't giving it to you. But then If he said, yeah, I mean they're equally hard, I'd have been like, cool. He's respecting both. But you said wrestling's harder because you're in a wrestling, event when your money was made in MMA. Kind of
I think
sucks a
they
little
actually
bit.
meant it. I think they actually meant it
Say
though.
again.
I think they actually meant it
Well, I
though.
mean, I mean, he said it. Fuck it. It's the words. When
That's what
once
I'm
you
saying.
do it, once you say it,
I think what they were really getting at was just the day in day out grind of wrestling practice and the weight cutting and the mental grind of wrestling day to day is harder than it is preparing in MMA. I think that's what they were saying.
to be good in MMA is just much of a grind as wrestling. Now, a tournament season for wrestling, yeah, it's 10 times harder. Because look how many matches you have in a year. I get that part.
Right.
But
And that's
that's
what I
just
think they were
because
saying.
but then they should have said it that way. Because tournaments demand that much more of you. I get that part. Right? He just said it's harder as in the whole circumference of it is wrestling's harder. He wasn't clear in his delivery. That on that part, I did not say, okay, I get it.
Well,
I
he
get
was
it.
at a press
A
conference. So
wrestling season, a
you're
wrestling
talking.
season is no joke.
Well, you're
A
at a
wrestling
press
season is
conference.
no joke. I get it.
Well, you're at a press conference. You're talking quick. Just try. You can't really elaborate on a lot of stuff. I would love to get one of them on here and ask them what they meant. That would be great to really dive in to see what they meant by the statement. That'd be a great thing to. I'd like to get to talk
Oh,
to them about today.
yeah, I had plans on asking that question at the interview that we didn't have. We didn't have any interviews. A Fight fans, REF did a meet and greet as their interviews to talk to fighters. So they didn't do interviews like they did last time at REF too. So that part sucked. So, but it is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna put a pin in that. We bring that shit back up
Oh yeah.
because
Hopefully,
we're gonna throw that question out. We're gonna throw that question out to the world and see what comes back.
hopefully at RAF 04 we can go scoop up some of these MMA guys and ask them what they think that have wrestled and done both. Kind of
Yeah,
make
I
that a
mean
theme for us.
we can bring Jared Brooks on and ask him the question. Considering
Yeah, we can do that
hopefully his
too.
Wi-Fi works. Hopefully his Wi-Fi works. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna figure that out because yeah, fuck all that shit. All right, man, we gotta wrap this up. I gotta go. Chris, bring us
All right,
home.
guys. All right, guys. Thank you for showing up, watching the show. We'll be back next Thursday at 8 p.m. Everybody have a good week. Stay tuned to our social media because we're going to be posting more stuff from RAFO 3, and I'll be posting some stuff every day about topics and questions and get some, hopefully get some interactions from you guys and be able to talk a little bit of shit on social media with you. Everybody have a good night. Marv says good night, Grandpa, to Coach D.
And REF4 is right around the corner, so we're gonna have to go right back into REF4 now. So I said it's not gonna slow down. If they're intent on putting on an event a month, we're gonna be busy SOBs. So it is what it is. All right, but hey, that's the game we signed up for, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right, this is Coach D doing what I'm doing. Call it like I see it.